6 things dealership finance managers hate that you know. Car dealerships want you to believe they're on your side. They'll smile, shake your hand, and offer you coffee while they work out the numbers. But behind those glass doors in the finance office, there's a different story playing out. One where every word you say can either fatten their paycheck or cut straight into it. And today I'm going to share 6 things that absolutely make finance managers cringe. These are the lines they hate to hear, because each one threatens the system they've built to maximize profits at your expense. If you've ever wondered why a dealership pushes you so hard in that little office, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why. Let's start with the first one, and it's probably something you've said yourself. 1. I'm paying cash. Nothing makes a finance manager rub their temples faster than hearing those 3 little words, I'm paying cash. To you, paying cash might feel like the ultimate power move. You're walking in with money in hand, no strings attached. But for the dealership, that's their worst-case scenario. Here's why. Finance managers make the bulk of their money not from the car itself, but from the financing attached to it. When you finance through them, they profit off what's called the reserve, the difference between the rate the bank offers and the higher rate they present to you. That little bump, just 1 or 2 percentage points, might not sound like much. But on a $40,000 car over 72 months, it adds up to thousands of dollars. And that's money flowing straight into the dealership's pocket. Cash takes all of that away. Even worse for them, financing also makes it easier to slip in those add-ons, extended warranties, gap coverage, tire protection, paint sealants. When these are wrapped into a monthly payment, buyers barely notice. A $40 jump in payment feels painless compared to writing an extra $3,000 check on the spot. That's the psychology they rely on, and when you pay cash, you break it. But cash isn't the only phrase that sends finance managers into panic mode. The next one cuts off their sales pitch entirely, and they absolutely hate it. 2. Let me phone a friend. Picture this. You're sitting in the finance office, the menu of add-ons is in front of you, and the manager is in full sales mode. Suddenly, you say, let me call my spouse. They know more about this stuff than I do. Instant tension. The finance manager's whole strategy depends on controlling the conversation. The moment you introduce an outside voice, they lose that control. And here's the truth. Most friends or spouses, when put on the spot, default to the safe answer. Don't buy anything. Not because they've done the research, but because they don't want you getting taken advantage of. From the finance manager's perspective, that's a sale gone. They never got the chance to explain, persuade, or spin. And sometimes it's worse. Your friend might pass the phone to someone else, doubling the resistance. Now, here's a little tactic you can use. If you do call someone, put them on speakerphone. This forces transparency. The finance manager has to explain the product clearly, and you get a second set of ears on the conversation. It's not foolproof, but it levels the playing field. And speaking of leveling the playing field, there's another phrase that makes finance managers equally uncomfortable. It's when you tell them you're putting down a lot more money than they expected. 3. I'm putting down a large down payment. You'd think dealerships would love hearing that, right? After all, a big down payment means you're financially responsible, less risky, and more likely to get approved. But the finance manager doesn't see it that way. Here's the ugly truth. The more you finance, the more they earn. Think about it. Let's say the bank sets your buy rate at 6%, and the finance manager bumps it to 7%. On a $40,000 loan, that 1% nets them far more money than on a $10,000 loan. Bigger loan, equal bigger profit. Simple math. Even when they can't mark up the rate, like on those promotional 0% or 2.9% manufacturer deals, the amount financed still matters. Some banks pay the dealership what's called a flat, a set fee based on the size of the loan. The higher your financed amount, the bigger that flat fee. So when you walk in and say you're dropping $15,000 down, their commission shrinks instantly. And trust me, they feel it. But there's an even sharper dagger. The moment you tell them you've already lined up financing elsewhere. 4. I'm already approved at my credit union. This is one of the few statements that can bring a finance office to a complete stop. If you've already gone through the approval process with your credit union and have an official offer in hand, rate, term, everything locked, you've essentially taken away their biggest weapon, control of the loan. Now they'll try to fight back. Expect them to say things like, "We can beat that rate," or "Your credit union won't fund as quickly as we can." Sometimes they even claim your pre-approval isn't real unless it's finalized, trying to create doubt. But here's what really stings for them. Buyers with pre-approvals are usually financially savvy. You know your credit, you've compared rates, and you're not walking in blind. That makes you much harder to upsell. And if you stand firm, refusing to let them reroute your loan, to them it's just another cash deal. No markup, no extras. But maybe you're not even ready to commit at that point. Maybe you want to slow things down, make a few calls, and see if those add-ons are really worth it. If you tell them that, oh, they really hate it? 5, I'll shop around for these products. This is like pulling the rug right out from under their chair. See, the finance office depends on the assumption that you don't know add-ons can be negotiated. Most buyers are too drained by the car buying process to push back, so they accept whatever price is presented. Extended warranties, tire and wheel protection, dent coverage, all of it is marked up heavily. Sometimes 200% or more. But here's the catch. Every manufacturer dealership sells the same products, and prices can vary wildly. That means you're free to call around, get quotes, and compare, just like you would with insurance. Finance managers despise when you mention this. Not only are you breaking their illusion of this is the only chance you'll ever get, but you're also showing them you know the game. Pro tip, when you call another dealership, let them know upfront that you're calling multiple places. This pressures them to give you their best price right away, instead of playing the same back and forth game. But even if you buy something and leave happy, there's one last phrase that makes finance managers grind their teeth harder than anything else. And that's when you come back weeks later and say, "Sticks, I want to cancel." This one isn't just annoying for them, it's devastating. When you cancel products like extended warranties or gap insurance within the first 30-60 days, the dealership loses the commission they earned on those sales. It gets yanked right back out of their paycheck in what's called a chargeback. Imagine spending hours pushing products, convincing customers, stacking up commissions, and then watching it all disappear when a buyer changes their mind. That's why cancellations are their nightmare. Now here's what they won't tell you. When you cancel, the refund doesn't lower your monthly payment. Instead, it gets applied directly to your loan's principal. That means you'll owe less overall, but your payment amount stays the same. It's a subtle detail most buyers never realize. And because finance managers don't want those chargebacks, some will drag their feet processing your cancellation. They might lose paperwork, delay filing it until the next pay period, or pressure you to keep at least part of what you bought. The takeaway? Always read your contract carefully, know the cancellation policy, and don't let them stall. Conclusion, so there you have it. 6 phrases that make dealership finance managers absolutely miserable. Paying cash strips away their biggest profit source. Phoning a friend disrupts their control. Large down payments shrink their commissions. Credit union pre-approvals cut them out of the loan game. Shopping around destroys their pricing power. And cancellations erase the money they've already pocketed. Every one of these moves flips the balance of power in your favor. And the truth is, dealerships rely on the average buyer not knowing any of this. Confusion and pressure are their greatest weapons, but now you've got the knowledge to fight back. So next time you step into that finance office, remember, the more you know, the less you pay. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that subscribe button and join me for more dealership secrets they don't want you hearing. Because the game doesn't stop at the showroom floor, and the more you understand it, the harder it is for them to win.